We are here at this year's Race to the Sun, which is the South African National Gravel Championships for 2024, which is a race from Hartbeespoort to Sun City. I think it's 166 kilometers this year. Quite a flat race, not a lot of climbing, I think about 900 meters of ascent. And there's quite a lot of people here because it's a national champs. And I think the ladies, the group, looked quite big. It was about probably 200 girls that started together. No, I think they bunched all the categories together, but it's great to see.
And with that racing underway, you guys are going to be a big smile on your faces when you race on a bike. Always competitive, always humble. What's the secret to having a successful 100-miler on the tough gravel roads of South Africa? I'm going to get that. I just don't need the one. Here we go. And there we go.
We just left the feed zone, which was at 79 kilometers into the race, and Kathy was sitting in the front group of about 12 to 15 girls, which is leading the race at the moment. So I think the harder part of the race is still to come. It's normally after this feed zone where there's a bit of a drag and goes up a little bit more. So I'm sure it's going to split up even more from there onwards. And then we're on our way to the finish. Just drove over 1 million potholes and eager to see where she finishes. So I've the first edition of Race to the Sun was in 2018. It's actually before gravel bikes became such a big thing, and most of the guys were on mountain bikes. And the first edition is a bit, it was different because normally these long distance events, it wasn't as popular or as big. But I could see from year one it was going to become a big thing because it's such a nice vibe around this race. And I was fortunate enough to win the first edition on my mountain bike, which also finished here in Sun City, which was quite a cool feeling. It's something I don't think I'll ever forget. So this race definitely have like a small special place in my heart. Every year I come here, even though this year I'm not here to race it. So it's still very cool to be part of it and spectating and being part of the action and seeing how everything goes and how the people suffer and how some of them don't suffer, which is quite special.
The first bend, and it looks like it's Danielle Straden has got that gap there, mixing it up with the man Cherise Spiller coming through into second place, and I think that is Haley Breed in third. Sam Sanders coming through in fourth. Holy Shabbat.
No, this result was definitely not what I was hoping for. I know where the form is at, and I know in training what I'm able to do. So it was really frustrating to get something that's below what I know I'm capable of. The goal, of course, was to win the jersey, but in cycling the plan doesn't always work out that way. But unfortunately, this is just how it goes in cycling, so you have to take the small wins during the day out of it, otherwise you're just going to be drowned in disappointment and you can't move on. So I'm happy for things that got better, where 2 weeks ago my back pulled me out of a race. Now my back got better, but result wise not so stoked about it, but what the small wins during the day, I'm pretty happy about that. It was a lot harder than last year, that's for sure. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to better last year's position, but the first half of the race, it was pretty docile. We were just riding in the bunch. It was actually a very easy pace. It was very much like a normal women's road race here in South Africa. We tried to get some moves going, but it was just too flat and the girls chased it down. But then we went through the feed zone, and one of the girls attacked through the feed zone, and then the pace started going up. And then it started getting harder going into the com, but it was just very rutted, like corrugated, and the sand was so thick, and I really struggled with that, and I just felt like I was being bounced around and thrown around left, right and center. And then we had a bit of traffic with the fun riders, and I was in a bit of a physical dip where I was like just struggling a bit. And then we had like with the fun riders mixed in, and the girls started attacking, and then it was just carnage. And then I had to move around to get back into the move, but I just didn't have it in me to push through. And then I was literally just trying to just get back home. So I'm just proud that I actually just finished it off, and I didn't like focus too much on how bad I was feeling, and just more on just finishing the race. But yeah, you know, these days happen. Not always rainbows and wins and all those things, but it's also these days. But it's good, and now we go forward and recover, and yeah, have a rest day. Get some chips and burgers.